All right, we have my internship experience. I am Matt McCloskey. I'm a student at Jonathan Law High School, and I'm going to be going to Central Connecticut State University to pursue a degree in cybersecurity. And at Law 2, I'm also heavily involved with the music program and also with the computer science program. And the internships that I chose was the information technology department at Parsons here in Milford, and they manage all the technology in the school district in Milford. And when your Google's not working, these are the people that you call to make sure you get that back up and running. And this is my site supervisor. This is Danny Petrosky, and he's the infrastructure and operations service specialist in the department. He's a really cool guy. He's a nerd like me, and he's sitting next to the Burger King with his head on a pike, which I think is pretty cool. And I chose this site because I was a part of the student help desk here at Law throughout this year, which works really closely with the IT department and fixing Chromebooks for students and make sure that they get shipped back out to them if we run low. I'm also still kind of wavering on what branch of computer science I like to pursue. The feeling of familiarity because I already know how to work with most of this stuff, and again, being able to know all these people in IT and being able to work with them again, and wanting to learn more about how the department runs as a whole. And usually the IT department, what they do is that they diagnose and repair electronics, so things like broken student Chromebooks, printers, and other hardware like that, ensuring that security vulnerabilities around the district are patched, kind of like with our cybersecurity specialist, making sure that really nothing gets hacked or any data breaches, preparing and setting up new electronics to be installed, managing network closets around every school. So in every school, they got one or even possibly more network closets that hook up all the computers, everything into it, so that all be connected to the internet, which is really cool and very complicated. Building and setting up services like websites and live streams, and overall ensuring that the technology in the district is running smoothly and without any problems. And what I first expected was to travel within the district to different schools to work on tickets, like what Danny does, how he goes around different schools, repairing Chromebooks, and shadowing. Sorry guys, that was the wrong shadowing. We don't haunt people here, unfortunately. And my responsibilities were usually I would be paired with one of the specialists and shadow them, follow them throughout the day, repair Chromebooks in our spare time, so we're not doing anything. And this year we actually were live streaming these presentations, and so the three of us were live streaming them, but not this time. We have Blessing behind the screen at this time, but afterwards we will be. And during my time, I accomplished setting up 20 laptops in Foreign's broadcasting room. I helped to close tickets with Danny at West Shore. We went back there a couple times. When we first went there, one of the big problems was people's headphone jacks not working, and that was because students were jamming in stuff into the headphone jacks so they can get new Chromebooks. But we were able to figure this out, and after foiling them, they're like, oh shoot, we can't do that anymore. And those tickets stopped coming in. I sat in on a presentation about AI and gave some good constructive feedback. I advocated for foreign students to join their student help desk next year, as they had students and then they all just left. So I was really hoping that I'd be able to try to help convince some students to be able to join their help desk, because I had a lot of fun at my time here. I shadowed our cybersecurity specialist, Tyler. He showed me a whole bunch of things that honestly I can't remember it all, but he showed me how to use an OS of Linux that's specifically made more for hacking, kind of either white hat hacking, helping people, or black hat, which is the malicious stuff. Kind of about how the whole infrastructure of all the technology, so kind of things like the website filters in everyone's emails and all that. Learned how to run the streaming software, use to stream these presentations, and I repaired many, many Chromebooks, countless amounts of them, because some days it was just, oh, there's really nothing to do, Chromebooks. And now, top 3 Chromebooks I've seen. And all these are, no student information is shown, so we're all good. The student information has been protected. Number 3 was this lovely one with a whole bunch of anime stickers, and honestly, the dedication of just having all these on the cover was very commendable. Number two, this one, a bunch of the keys were taken off the keyboard, and I don't know if you guys can see, but on the actual keyboard itself, he started to sort them alphabetically. So A would be over here, all the way through there, and then Z would be there, and also tried to spell some words on the bottom. Honorable mention, this one, there's just a bunch of marker on it, which that was the first time I've seen a Chromebook this badly vandalized with marker. But because it was all up here, all down here, even on the lid of the Chromebook. But thankfully, with the power of Mr. Clean Magic Eraser, God bless you, Mr. Clean, I was able to remove all this. And number one, if it'll load, it should load. Here we go. We have a video for this one. Hopefully the audio is on. Yeah, audio is on. Oh, the video. Don't mute the video. The audio is very important for this one. So,
what's the black one in the middle?
that's to censor student information. The black square, because we couldn't figure out a way to remove the account without causing that to happen. But basically, what it would do is that on boot up, it would work perfectly fine. And then as soon as you adjusted the Chromebook a little bit, removed it, the whole screen would freeze. Everything would be unresponsive, and then it would create the glitching on the screen, and then make a really weird staticky noise. And so we determined that the Chromebook was haunted, and we needed an exorcist to remove it. All right. Let's see. Oh, don't play the video again. There we go. All right. So some of the challenges that I faced. We're not being able to repair all the Chromebooks that I looked at. Some of them, I tried my best, but in the end, they just weren't able to turn back on, and some other hardware malfunctioned and causing the Chromebook to die. So in those cases, I would just take out everything I can that could be salvaged, like the battery, the screen, microphone, stuff like that, and put it in our spare parts box so that they could be used for further repairs. Calling down students to the media center to get their Chromebooks looked at. Because at West Shore, what we would do is that Danny and I would be set up in the media center and then look through all the tickets and say, oh, hey, these kids need the Chromebooks to be swapped. And so we make a list and then call them down from the classes. And at first, I was really nervous about this because I have phone call anxiety a little bit. Mm-hmm. But after a little while of being like, I'll just be like, hey, this is Matt from IT. Can so-and-so student come down to the media center? You kind of got used to it, and I was able to overcome that. The monotony of repairing Chromebooks, because after a while, it does get a little boring, but with being able to talk with Matt, the Chromebook repair specialist there, and our other people, the other interns I worked with, Danny and Jingyu and Angus, and also just music and podcasts, I was able to get through that. And trying to remember the names of people in the department, because there's a lot of people there. And thankfully, I'm gonna be honest, I remembered I'd say a bit more than half of the people, which is pretty good. And I was able to see some familiar faces, like the old media specialist at Harborside, Miss Jackson. And so that was really cool. And how have I grown from this internship? A couple things I've learned was patience, because especially with repairing the wire, like some of the wiring on the Chromebook, they're really small wires and you have to make sure they go to the right spot. And if you just rush the job and not do your best work, it's going to be bad, and you can't send that out to a student. And learn from more complicated repairs, like how one time I was able to replace the whole lid of a Chromebook, which I've never done before at my job at the help desk. But with this, I was able to kind of grow my expertise more from what I already learned. Being able to use the streaming setup at law, and look into a bit of the back end of our network. And this definitely helps my future by reaffirming my choice of studying the field of computer science, and help me learn a bit more about the multiple branches of computer science there is to explore, to help me gauge my interest. And my plans for the future is that I unfortunately was not offered a summer job, but I would definitely want to continue to pursue my Bachelor's of Science in Cybersecurity at Central, and can possibly pursue a master's afterwards, possibly become a cybersecurity specialist for a large corporation or company, or possibly get a position in an IT department for either this district or another, because I really did enjoy my time working here. I enjoyed working with everyone and all of my responsibilities. I love doing it all. And that's it. Thank you. You guys have any questions? Angus?
Was the possessed Chromebook ever fixed?
No, the possessed Chromebook wasn't able to be fixed. We weren't able to call an exorcist in time.
Now, if you wanna go into cybersecurity, do you understand all those like phishing emails we get and like, have you been like exposed to those?
I have. I haven't been exposed to one personally myself, but usually, kind of, you know, how when you go into your emails, it'll have the person's name, but then you have to click on the name to actually see the email itself. Usually, what they'll do is that they'll have, you know, the name be the same, and then their actual email will be either just completely wrong because Google doesn't automatically show you the the actual email themselves where it comes from, or they'll be kind of similar, and so they could use lookalike characters, for example, to trick you, and so kind of learning and understanding to, you know, always double check everything you look into on the internet. Make sure that you don't click links in emails. All right, be very careful with that. But you know, just making sure that everything's safe and proper, and I can actually go into the email.
So, is there any word of advice you would give for your student community, since you've now seen the experience of the IT department, and you know, just any word of advice you would share with your community?
Definitely, you know, respect the technology that you're giving you because this stuff costs a lot. Even though it is, you know, Chromebooks, they aren't the best computers, but you have to realize how many students, teachers, how many people in the district just need laptops, and how kind of with our budget that we have, this is kind of, you know, this is technology we have. This is all we can get, kind of, and just respect it, take care of it, make sure it doesn't get damaged because you will get billed. All right. Yeah. Thank you guys.
Hello, I'm Angus. Table of contents, I'll start out with an introduction of myself, then my site experience, finally a conclusion and Q&A at the end. So introduction. I'm Angus Chang, I'm a senior at law. I'm going to be attending Princeton University in the fall, and my current major is computer science, and I also have interest in obtaining certificates or minors in architecture, engineering, and environmental studies. My internship site, it was at Parsons Government Center, specifically the Digital Service Department. It was like the entrance to the place was next to the gymnasium, and it was the first door on the right. It was just a long room with a desk on the side, and that was our workstation for the 3 interns, me, Matt, and Jinyu. Our site supervisor was Danny Petrosky. He went to Central for cybersecurity for a bit, and then he stopped and worked his way up to become a full-time infrastructure technician for Milford Public Schools, and he is Cisco certified network associate and Network Plus and Apple Repair certified, and that's a picture of him. My site experience. My reason for choosing to internship at Parsons was because I had prior experience with Lost Help Desk, working with Miss Mundy, and essentially it was like the next level of help desk. We were just using the same ticketing software, swapping Chromebooks, repairing them. That's a picture of my help desk ID. I had interest in this field. Since I'm majoring in computer science, I want to explore that field more in depth. And career exploration, I just want to know what's out there, if I want to work in IT or not, maybe like software, hardware, you know, all those different aspects of computer science. The business of the site, Danny provided me with what they do. They provide support and technology integration to students and staff of the Milford Public School District. Essentially, they just want to focus on like integrating tech into education, and making sure that all students are prepared for like the new current world and like the ever-changing society of technology. My expectations coming into this internship was I was going to continue what I was doing at the help desk, so repair Chromebooks, swap them out, resolve tickets. I knew I was going to shadow employees at law, whenever Danny or Blessing or someone else or Ken came in, I would follow them throughout the school and go to different classrooms, and I was expecting to like go to different schools. Career knowledge, just like find out more about what I want to do in the future and more about computer science and IT. Responsibilities, a lot of Chromebook repairs, so just swapping out, like just looking at tickets, taking the Chromebook off the repair shelf, and just figuring out what's wrong with it and try to fix it. And if I couldn't fix it, I would salvage it for parts or ask Matt, the Chromebook specialist, for help. I did shadow employees. Like whenever we when we go in for the day, someone would tell us if they were going to a different school and ask if we want to go with them, and you'd say yes or no. Go to different locations, so we went to like any school in the district basically. Accomplishments, repaired a lot of Chromebooks, like from help desk I had like a really basic understanding of how to repair a Chromebook, and then here in the internship, more in depth, figured out like different problems and discovered new solutions. On the first day, we went to Foreign and we set up a computer lab, like Matt said. It was like 20 plus MSI laptops, and we just set up around the broadcast room and made sure they're connected to the internet and to power. And then resolving tickets with Incident IQ, whenever we swapped the Chromebook, we were going to close out the ticket. And obstacles, like getting used to like office life, gotta dress to impress, and like you can't just dress casually. Certain repairs, I know there's a few repairs that are kind of annoying to do, such as the cameras. With the camera cable, we gotta take apart the whole Chromebook, the screen, and the keyboard. Skill limitations, like just some things we just didn't know how to do because we weren't like trained for this. We're just high school students. Like I have some pictures now of like other stuff we worked with. Like this is other technology that I was working with, like the server racks. I don't really remember much about them, but they're very messy. The desktops, I think I helped Kyle swap a few out at Harborside. Like our materials, our cleaning solution bottle that we decked out with stickers that came from Chromebooks. Got spare keyboards, spare cables, spare screens. Our tools, these are the different screws that we use. This was like for the back of the Chromebook to connect the keyboard to the whole Chromebook. This was for the screen. Those two were for the screens. Here we have like a spudger. It's like a prior thing. Got like tweezers, screwdrivers to take apart the Chromebook. Before, I know Matt already showed this, but I found this Chromebook off the shelf and was very surprised by it. The screen was broken, got marker everywhere, and covered in stickers. So the before, the during, I took out the lid, screen, look how cracked it is, unplugged it from the cable. That's just like the keyboard, it's showing more of the interior of the Chromebook. And then me swapping out the screen, and obviously the screen works now. After using Goo Gone cleaning solution, get all the residue, the sticky residue off, clean that, and now the Chromebook is ready to get assigned to a new student. Conclusion. Skill development, I would definitely say I developed more my communication skills, because just interacting with my colleagues and just letting Danny notify if I was coming in late or whatever. Technical skills, definitely learned a lot more about just repairing Chromebooks and just like different tips and tricks. And time management, you gotta be efficient with, like we were just saying there, repairing Chromebooks. You can't spend too long on one. You can't spend too little time on one. You can't rush them. Help with future. I say this internship definitely helped me out in the future because we had a mock interview. So basically, we were just Danny and Kyle interviewed us as if you were applying for a real job there, and I say this is pretty helpful because the only interviews I had before this were for like school or scholarships, and this was just more realistic. They helped us update our resumes to transition from a school resume to more of a job resume, and it also helped us make a cover letter when we applied to this position. and then just finding more about this career and this path, like IT and computer science. My future plans is attend Princeton in the fall, still majoring in computer science, and I know I get a job over summer here, but I'm gonna be a Boys and Girls Club counselor for their summer camp. And any questions? Shinju?
Out of all the places you have went to either repair Chromebooks, swap Chromebooks, which school is your favorite place to go?
Say like, I know I had like a funny instance at East Shore where we saw a kid. He came up to us and said that none of his work was saving, and like it would just be gone next time you open the Chromebook. And me and Danny were like, we can't really solve this problem because it wasn't happening at the time. So right before he left, he power washed his computer, which is basically resetting everything, and then walked away. And then we were like, why'd you do that? You're just harming yourself. But yeah. Matt?
What's probably your most favorite part of this internship?
Favorite part? Honestly, just going to different schools. I know I had a fun day with Ken. We talked a lot in the car, driving to each school.
So what are some, from this experience, what are some takeaways you can take from you when you go to college, since you're staying in the computer science field?
Say like time management and just like making sure you're caught up. You don't want to catch behind. And so like for like the future, I know I want to be moving around. Don't want to be sat down all day. Just want to be active. Be in the field.
I was gonna ask where you guys got those funny pictures of Danny.
Oh, we personally asked him. Yeah.
Like they're all a little different?
He supplied us.
Yeah.
Nice. Nice. I noticed that. Alright. Good job, guys.
One.
Alright, I interned at Honey Spot Pizza. Who am I? My name's Connor Calderon, and I'm a senior at Jonathan Law High School. I'm planning on attending Housatonic Community College in the fall, and I'm currently undecided, but I have interest in business or finance. So my site supervisor is Ali Korkmaz. He is the owner of one of 3 Honey Spot Pizza locations that's located in Milford, and he's originally from Turkey, and he moved to the United States 18 years ago and started Honey Spot roughly 15 years ago. So why did I choose this site? I decided to choose Honey Spot Pizza as a site to learn how to run a business, specifically a restaurant business. I thought it'd be a great opportunity to learn about the operations of a small businesses, and it fits because I'm interested in business. So what are my expectations prior to the internship? My expectations were to learn about how to run a restaurant business. I intended to gain knowledge and experience about businesses to possibly apply techniques and ideas in the future upon owning a business myself. So what were my responsibilities? My responsibilities was to assist the business by ordering products to the Napoli food distributor. I was given the responsibility to assess whether or not we needed more ingredients like bread, dough, cheese, etc. And additionally, at the end of the week, I found the total revenue and cost each day and calculated the profit. So what were my accomplishments? My accomplishments were successfully managing the food supply under a budget. Using prior experience of web designing, I updated their website prices accurately and fixed their online payment methods that hadn't previously worked, and successfully learned about the finance involved with restaurants. So challenges or problems. My challenges were calculating the profit for the day, as many people pay with either card or cash. I had to learn the system's interface see how much money was being received. Another challenge was ordering the food supply from a distributor, as it had to be scheduled days prior to delivery. And how was my experience? In conclusion, this site benefited me as I learned and recognized how to run a business. I was taught about the different tasks and responsibilities needed to run a restaurant, and I gained experience on management skills and money management. And my future plans is to attend college, study finance, and in the fall apply for an internship at Franklin Templeton Investment Firm to gain experience in the industry.
I have a question.
Yeah.
You said you were into businesses. Do you think you would choose a restaurant business, or is there like a more preferred sort of type of business that you like?
Definitely another sort of business, not a restaurant, but I don't know.
But do you think you learned anything that you can now take, like any life lessons that you kind of picked up at Honey Spot that you can take now into like your investment kind of more financy future?
Yeah, for sure. Like just dealing with like customers and stuff, like that helped a
So
lot.
like a crazy customer story
Uh,
you can share.
like a lot of customers, they don't have money for stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So sometimes you just have to make them like food, like extra food, you know.
So they'll ask for like something for free?
Mhm.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I've never tried that.
Mhm.
You should think
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, yeah.
Do you like Honey Spot pizza? Like, is it good?
Yeah, it's good.
Anything else? Thought that was good. You good? Alright. Nice job, guys.
Hi, my name is Jin Yu, and I'm going to Stony Brook, and this upcoming fall planning to major in computer science. I interned at the Parsons government building, more specifically at the digital service part, where mainly just we take off technology. Here's my site supervisor. His name is Danny Petrosky, and I took this picture out of Gavin's presentation last year and decided to put it at the lowest resolution and slapped him on there. You can also come the guy who you call to the classrooms to have good internet. Oh, he also had a cat. I don't know the name. He just got it. His cat is blind, like 70% blind. And from what I've heard from him is that his cat would like bump into things, like to check if something's there or not. Pretty much it was just pretty cute cat. Why I picked the site? I picked the site because I was working as an IT member as a lost help desk all senior year, and I was interested in the field of computer science and saw this opportunity came up and just like, why not? Came up, got free time, and then I think informational technology is cool. What they do, they manage technologies of Milford public schools around the districts and making sure computers and technology still works, and a bunch of just swapping out Chromebooks, repairing Chromebooks and computers. One of the stories I want to share is that I went to Harborside Kyle, and then as we were signing into Harborside, he called one of the students down to swap his Chromebook because his Chromebook was lost. So his Chromebook was in lost mode, but he came down with the Chromebook logged in, playing a game, and me and Kai just stared at each other like, what in the world just happened? We were confused, and then Kyle started like looking into his phone and just like looking at it like, this shouldn't not have been happened. And then out of nowhere, this kid just says, "Oh, my game's gonna be gone on the Chromebook." Out of all those things, that was the one thing he was concerned about.
Huh.
My expectations for this internship was, of course, we're still repairing Chromebooks, but more in depth. And I expected more of a digital dive, but not exactly what I expected. I was kind of deciding if fields of IT was something I wanted to get into. My responsibilities was I went to Milford Public Schools with technicians showing their work, learning about IT work in different schools and how each technician goes through each schools. Since I know Danny, as Matt and Aza mentioned, Danny calls them down from TLC to the library and swap their Chromebooks there. But with Kyle, he actually goes to each classroom and like talk to the students individually to learn like what they have done to the Chromebooks and such. And of course, the last is repairing Chromebooks or salvage Chromebooks. Challenges were limitations since we weren't allowed with like admin passwords or like go to schools by ourselves and repair Chromebooks like that. And working with the people I just met, since I don't know much about Milford, and of course meeting the middle school students, since they were something. And one of the challenges is the swapping out cameras on Chromebooks. I want to say I don't like them. It's just really time consuming because we need to take out like a lot of parts of the Chromebooks. We gotta take out the keyboards, we gotta take out the screen, and then you gotta take out the top bars of the Chromebook, and then just a whole bunch of stuff you need to do. And one of the other challenges is that we had a mock interview, and I was just really nervous about it, anxious, but got it over with. My accomplishments, I repaired a substantial amount of Chromebooks and helped setting up a computer lab in Florida, but I remember we grabbed a desk from the closet, and it was sort of isolated from every single desk, and it was just placed next to this door. We decided, I forgot what we decided to call it, but
I think just an island.
I think we just called it Island, yeah.
It was the lonely one.
Yeah, the Lonely Island, let's just name it that. And changing the Windows 7 computers at West Shore. Why do they still exist?
I don't know.
There was also Windows 7 here at the gym. Why? There's Windows 11 now. Oh, we also give tips on the AI presentation. I was trying to get into the teachers meetings, but I wasn't allowed to. My skills developed was the base knowledge on networking, audio/video hardware, troubleshooting hardware and software issues, and learning about the flow of the problems, like how if the screen is broken, of course that would be a screen issue, but if the screen is not broken, where will the issue be and stuff like that. And then more confident in like basically interviews and stuff, since we did mock interviews, and more in depth and knowledge of Chromebooks, laptops. My future plans is that I'll be pursuing a career in IT in the future, and I've now improved the resume, and maybe I'll find an IT job in college. You know, and I've been interested in hardware and components of computers, and will be pursuing a computer science major in college, and maybe we'll look for an opportunity to increase IT knowledge from other internships. And that's the end of my presentation. questions? Matt?
What was your favorite part about working in the district?
Ooh. Let me see. I would say is the time where I went to Florida for the help desk, to introduce more students in the help desk. Like as like I was like explaining things about like what's my experience here at law. A bunch of students were just like, look at this guy. But like a lot of them were not interested, and a lot of them was like sitting at me, staring at me like I think. How do I explain the expression? But
A deer in headlights.
it's so yeah, I think you can call that a deer in the headlight. I guess.
What was your like favorite repair to do on the Chromebook?
Favorite repair. Huh. I guess the one that requires a lot more work because it gives me more in depth how a Chromebook should be repaired. Like I remember some that after me swapping out the screen, it like keyboard stopped working for no reason, and then I had to swap out another keyboard, and then stopped charging, so I swap out the battery, and after swapping out the battery, it finally worked, and then after a little bit, camera started breaking, and then now I basically just changed every part of the Chromebook just to not charge again.
So who would you say was your favorite technician?
Favorite? Oh. Does it? I don't have favorites, so just leave it at that.
Good answer.
Alright, we'll leave it there. That's a good one to end on. Even though